Was it seduction or illusion? Deception or murder? Nothing is what it seems in a town like Twin Peaks. Starring Kyle MacLachlan, Michael Ontkean, Lara Flynn Boyle, Sherilyn Fenn, and Joan Chen. And now you can fall back into the mystery, or begin your search for the first time every Tuesday night with a new episode hosted by a panel of superfans. Watch live for the audio commentary. No one is innocent in a town like Twin Peaks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land, and welcome to Live from Sparkwood and 21. This series chronicles one of the greatest television series of all time, the 1990s cult classic Twin Peaks, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. Joining me on this journey are superfans Last Call at Troy Pacelli, Netters Network, and Aged Boomer. In a town like Twin Peaks, everyone is wearing a mask. And pretty soon, the masquerade may come to an end. So slide into a booth at the Double R Diner and order a damn fine cup of coffee and a heavenly slice of cherry pie as we watch and discuss episode 18 of Twin Peaks, Masked Ball. Already in the chat, FK8C 2005, who is sometimes called Tim? Something dark side. I don't know. Some guy named Deleted Scenes. Wrenches, keep an eye on this guy. He seems hinky. Keeps telling people to like, share, and subscribe. This can't happen. This must be stopped. He's clearly deranged. Emoji Queen, Lady Mist. Kaiju and Star Trek fan, Evelyn Hampton, Quapla Admiral. She with the smoldering new avatar, Netters Network. My Stalkerazzi, Lady V Elements. Host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, Big Al Presents. Friend of the channel, Fluff Chick Productions. And of course, Faithful Blue Wrench, the bird woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary. I'd like to also thank everyone watching on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. All right, the panel's waiting patiently backstage, so I'm going to bring them on. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Geeky Geezers and co-host of Friday Night Last Call, Aged Boomer.
Hello. How are you tonight? Oh, I don't have my thing up. Hold on. What am I doing here? I got to change my audio avatar. Excuse me.
He has a thing. There we go.
There we are.
Hello, Ernie.
Ernie has a gambling problem, doesn't he?
Just a bit, yes.
Is he going to end up in the hole at One Eye Jacks? Is that the impression I was getting from the last episode?
We'll see. We'll see. All right. Host of Friday Night Last Call and co-host of Geeky Geezers Last Call, Troy Pacelli.
Hello. That was a really good opening you had there. Sexy voice there.
Indeed. That was Frank Welker, who at great expense was able to come in and impersonate Troy's voice for that little promo. No,
there you go.
Troy, once again, thank you very much for the promo and the voiceover. And of course, we do have another member of the panel who we certainly cannot leave out. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why I know you are truly here, the host of Thursday Things, Netters Network.
Good evening. You know, I was wondering who that sexy voice in your promo was.
I like that. It's Frank Welker.
And good evening, Nate. Good to see you.
Did you ever watch American? Oh, sorry.
No. Sorry, I keep stepping over you. Go ahead, please.
Did you ever watch the show American Gothic Deleted Scenes? The old show from the 90s.
I recall it vaguely, yeah.
That was more of a Sam Raimi take maybe on like a Southern Gothic thing, but it was interesting. It had Gary Cole playing the local sheriff who may have been demonically influenced, and Lucas Black was the kid on the show. It was a good show. It was not exactly like a Twin Peaks, but you might have gotten a kick out of it.
Well, after Twin Peaks started to gain popularity, there were a number of shows that I don't want to say tried to copy it in any way.
Right.
But they were trying to copy it in every way. Well, American Gothic was certainly a show that was on at that point. It had its fans. It had a fan base. I'm not
I liked it. Yeah.
Hacking on it. They were there, and I'm sure there was some crossover with Twin Peaks. There was another show that also starred Peggy Lipton, which was called Angel Falls.
Oh, well, that sounds...
That was very much kind of Twin Peaks-ish. It was like picket fences, but it wanted to be Twin Peaks.
Huh.
You know, that's how I looked at it. And they had James Brolin in that. It was more soap opera.
You know, in 2003, I think it lasted for 2 seasons. There was a show called Carnival.
Yes, on HBO.
Mike Anderson was in that show. He played Samson.
Yes, he was.
It was. I felt it had a Twin Peaks-esque kind of feel to it.
Kind of.
And it was sadly one of those shows that ended on a cliffhanger, and we don't really get to find out what happened with it. After having seen season 3 of Twin Peaks, I'm all the more convinced that there must have been more going on behind the scenes that linked those than would immediately meet the eye.
Right.
Certain, not only the tonal elements, but some of the actual plot elements, at least the framing plot elements. So I don't know. Don't want to talk too much about that until we actually get through season 3.
I did enjoy Carnival. From what I heard, what we saw with those first 2 seasons was part 1. Seasons 3 and 4 would have been part 2, and then 5 and 6 would be part 3.
That kind of
So
makes sense.
the idea is 2 seasons per like story arc. So we got finished with the first arc, but we didn't get the other 2, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, that was the original plan for Person of Interest. There was a 6-year plan for that show, and it was very much supposed to be divided up, much as you said Carnival was supposed to. Unfortunately, they got this truncated 5th season that was 13 episodes that was shown 1 year after the episodes were shot, and they were shown over a month. Which was it was cool having the show on 2 or 3 times a week because I was really into it. On the other hand, maybe it would have been a little bit better spreading it out a bit, but we got an ending at least, and it was the ending that we were probably always going to get.
Not all shows get that, so that's good. Yeah.
And I do want to say hello to Dee Dee Myers. Let's see. So like Space Above and Beyond ended on a cliffhanger. Yeah, unfortunately it did. I would like to have seen that show go on a few more seasons. I think Space Above and Beyond is closer to Starship Troopers than the film based on it actually was. I was a big fan of that one. I not at first, but I kind of really grew to like it. And when that went off the air, it was a little bit of a hole in the schedule. Nate is bringing up Wayward Pines. Yeah. There was a thing that had Jim Belushi in it that was also ABC. That was kind of that I think also had Pines in the title.
I don't know.
It went 1 season. They finished it up, but it was kind of a really weird show because it's one of those deals where like his son turns out to be his brother, and everything he knows just gets completely obliterated by the end of it, and very odd. Like had like a great cat. It was Jim Belushi, Robert Loggia, Dana Delaney, Angie Dickinson, Nick Mancuso, Ernie Hudson.
This was a series?
And this was
a great
series.
Cast.
Yeah, but I am blanking on the freaking title.
You said Jim Belushi was in it?
Jim Belushi, yeah.
Robert Loggia, he's a David Lynch alumnus, right? He was in Mulholland Drive. I remember that.
He was in Wild
Not
Palms.
Mulholland Drive. Sorry.
Wild
Palms, yes.
Wild Palms. I'd heard of that one.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Not Mulholland Drive. It was the other one. Lost Highway. That's what Robert Loggia.
Lost Highway. Yes. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. His brother is also they reverse it. He thinks it's his son, but it's really his brother, and it gets weird.
Yeah, I think I did hear about this show. I never saw it. Does sound like something I'd be interested in, though.
Yeah. But those last couple of episodes, because I think they knew they weren't going to get another season, so it's like they tried to end it really fast, and there's a lot that gets thrown at you in those last couple of episodes. But
David Warner was in
that one's stupid. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Kim Cattrall. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this out.
Oh, Palms might be interesting. Okay, all right.
So that's our kind of stroll down Twin Peaks type program.
I can say this. I think this is directly because we love Twin Peaks so much, and we got so little of it. We look for something else to fill that void,
You know what's funny? I remember, though, at the time, like a few years after Twin Peaks, someone in, I think it was Entertainment Weekly or TV Guide, someone said, Northern Exposure and the X-Files is Twin Peaks split in half.
I guess.
Kind of is. The episode that always stuck out in my mind, well, there are a couple on Northern Exposure that really stuck out to me. Well, there was the episode that was about the founding of the town that was
right.
Essentially a ripoff of Fried Green Tomatoes, but it was still good. And they were close. And oddly, Northern Exposure was closer to the book. I'll let you stew in that. I'll let you stew in that one for a bit. And there was that episode, and then there was the episode where, spoiler alert, they killed off Grant Goodeve. He gets hit because the whole backstory to Janine Turner's character is all of her boyfriends die. Right. And Grant Goodeve is the current boyfriend. And you think, okay, he's going to make it. Because he's been in the show the whole season on and off, and they go out on this kind of romantic hike. They're going to camp. They're going to stay out all night. And this satellite falls to Earth. And where does it land?
Wow. Seriously?
It lands right on Grant Goodeve, and he's dead.
I mean, that's like something out of The Sims. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the Northern Exposure is the closest you'll get to a Sims TV series.
I guess.
So they have the funeral, but he is so fused with this piece of space junk that they had to build the coffin around it.
Oh
and just God. That visual of them wheeling the coffin in for the funeral service, and it's just like these little stalks of whatever sticking up because they're one of the same now. It was just so ridiculous.
That's oh my God.
And they're trying to haul this thing in there, and it's so heavy because it's him in this piece of satellite. It's just,
oh my gosh,
goofy. Yeah.
Evelyn's talking about the Lone Gunman. Wasn't that a spin-off of
X-Files spin-off?
Yeah.
Had a good pilot, and then I felt it fell off. People might argue with me though, but I don't know. It got goofy. That was the problem. Maybe that's why it's similar to some stuff like it. It's like the goofiness. It just became goofy after that pilot. But some people liked it. I don't know.
I'll tell you, that Lone Gunman had such great potential. If you were to take the time and dig into real conspiracy theories,
which is what I thought it was going to be about,
blend, reality and fiction. You know,
I thought it was going to take itself seriously. It wasn't going to deal with like the extraterrestrial or supernatural stuff, but it was going to deal with, actual conspiracy theories, and that's what it. Then from what you saw in the pilot, that's what it felt like. And then I don't know. I forgot when I tapped out on that one, but. Like I said, everyone to each their own,
And of course, I don't want to say spin-off, even though they eventually did an episode that brought the characters together. Millennium.
Oh, well.
Was certainly same universe.
I'll bite my tongue right now.
Okay. Not
I used to argue it not the same universe. I know people want it to be. But we saw the cigarettes at the thing, see it at the end of season 2. That's Cancer Man was there. Cigarette smoke, but no, that's not proof. Just I'm sorry.
Cigarettes. What brand of cigarettes did he smoke?
Morley's. I think it was a
Really?
brand for the show. Yeah.
Did you know that the prop company that makes the Morleys for the TV show and movies now has an online store? You can buy the hard packs and the soft packs of Morleys.
Oh, that's
you can
funny.
get the wraparound label of Smeat, which is like a spam knockoff type of thing, and a bunch of other different. The badge that Decker wore in Blade Runner, a reproduction of that. The
funny.
magazine cover, was it Time magazine, I think, that the Ghostbusters were on the cover of, and a bunch of other props like that. Yeah.
But as for Smoking Man being in, you're not saying he was in Millennium, are you?
No, here's what it was. At the season 2 finale, we saw cigarettes at the scene of something, and people were speculating, wait a minute, is the cigarette smoking man involved in this? Because they saw the pack of the cigarettes he used, like laying when Frank Black was looking for his missing thing. The thing about Millennium was, though, is that it would actually kind of poke fun at the X-Files. Like, you had like David Duchovny on a poster in one scene of some goofy comedy or something. It was, I never took Millennium as being in the same universe as the X-Files just because I thought it's doing its own thing. It would reference the X-Files, but not in the way. But then they did that X-Files episode where they tried to wrap up Millennium, and I was not happy because in some ways, I was more of a fan of Millennium than I was the X-Files, and I was sad that it only lasted 3 seasons. And then they did that wrap-up thing where there's some kind of Millennium group zombies coming up out of it. It's just stupid. I'm just, what are you doing?
So,
I'm sorry. Another time we'll talk about Millennium, though.
So that prop company is called the Hayes Press. I'm dropping a link right here. This takes you right to that store I was telling you about. They have reproductions of the clock tower, Hill Valley Telegraph, the clock tower struck by lightning, newspaper, the Sports Almanac, that famous newspaper that is just a generic newspaper that you see in so many different movies. The cereal boxes from Child's Play and Turbo Man, the Good Guys cereal and the Turbo Man cereal.
I remember that, yes.
The Beetlejuice business card, Truman Show, the beer that they were selling, on the show. They got that, and the out of time California license plate. And they'll be getting more in. They got. Oh, I'm sorry. There are 3 different versions of Morley's: the hard pack, the soft pack, and the vintage pack.
Okay.
So for those of you that want to smoke Morley's, you totally can.
Do they have anything from Oceanic Airlines? Evelyn's asking.
You know what? Not yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if eventually they do. Yeah, I found out about them from who's that guy from MythBusters?
The tall bald one or short bald one?
The short bald one. His YouTube channel. He's been visiting there, and today, most recently, he was seeing how they make fake money and how they do it so that they don't get in trouble with the federal government and stuff like that.
We know, Judge, we are an hour into the show. Are we gonna
a half hour into the show?
Or half hour into the show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Trying to move us along, are you?
I got us off on a tangent by bringing up American Gothic.
Well,
that's fine.
Might be a discussion stream Twin Peaks knockoff series, maybe. Or not knockoffs, but maybe inspired. That might be an idea. Like these shows wouldn't exist if not for Twin Peaks, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Right. And Nate was bringing up in the chat to try an idea for your Monday show, be focusing on series or one and done.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I do have those polls up. Those will be ending tomorrow morning. So get your votes in while you can. And then starting tomorrow afternoon, I will have a new poll up with all the runoff, the runners up to decide what movie I will be watching next Monday on Last Call's Monday Night at the Movies.
All right.
Adam Savage, yes, thank you, Big Al.
Yes, and please, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like, share out this stream, and if you're new to my channel or anybody on the channel panels, you know what I mean, solar panels. Okay, nobody got the Birdemic reference. Okay, moving on.
They can't all be
right.
winners. You got to expect that sometimes.
Damn it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do watch Twin Peaks
Yes.
on our Twin Peaks show. So without any further ado, we are going to get to that right now.
Yes, we are.
So please head on over to Cosme.
And then we're going to start.
And jump on in.
I'm ready when you are.
All right. All right, we are go at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Now,
Season.
We need our opening Flappy joke.
I'm just saying, apparently Flappy was at a fancy restaurant once and ordered a bowl of vichyssoise, and he said, "Take it back, it's cold." He was very angry.
he's a high maintenance bird, I tell you.
Oh.
So this episode is going to give us probably the best sit down that we've had so far with Betty Briggs, played by Charlotte Stewart. Again, Netta and I have had a great time with her at the conventions we've been at. We've had lunch with her a number of times. Wonderful, wonderful woman, great actress. Like I said, you know her as Betty Briggs from this show. You would know her as the teacher from Little House on the Prairie. She apparently also there's conventions and get-togethers and stuff for Little House on the Prairie as well. So I think she does those.
What lies beneath the depths?
It's full of secrets, I'm sure.
Probably full of some bodies, too.
Possibly. So when last we saw James Hurley, he was a bit frustrated with what had been going on in town, so he needs to get out and get moving. So he's doing the James Dean act here.
Going to see America, right?
We now join Easy Rider, already in progress. Right, exactly.
Oh, Easy Rider. Oh. Special guest.
The devil.
Yep. Yeah, here's where we get our X-Files crossover.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Sort of.
Part of me wonders, is it a reference to Jagger Hoover, or is it a reference to Ed Wood? That's what I'm wondering.
I wouldn't be surprised with David Lynch if it's both.
Now, one thing I always wondered is, did he know how to ride a motorcycle before this, or did they have to teach him?
Don't know. And unfortunately, he's one that we've never gotten a chance to meet and ask those kind of questions to. Yeah, this is interesting. She has a very different reaction than you would expect. She's not even worried. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's creepy.
Right.
The thing is, as the wife, she would not know classified information.
Unless he talks in his sleep.
Yeah, well, chances are she knows more than she probably should.
I hear the secrets that you keep
Right.
when you're talking in your sleep.
We will, of course, at some point be covering the secret history of Twin Peaks and the final dossier, which cover more of what Garland was involved in.
Yeah. I have some reading to do.
Yes. You wouldn't even have to call. Just yell. I do feel like that was a fourth wall break.
That's what I was just thinking.
Is that an Apple computer? What is that? Is that a MacBook? That's
This is
an
a
old
David
MacBook.
Lynch film, so I wouldn't be surprised. They do all kinds of crazy stuff here.
It looked like it had a Microsoft symbol in the bottom left corner.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was Microsoft.
It's like, stop typing.
That's a pretty deep stuff.
What are you talking about?
I like what Nate said. What he's trying to say, Father, the sleeper has awakened.
See, Dale is probably saner than anyone else on the show, right?
Is he?
No, seriously, think about it. If a psychologist was to, a shrink was to, go out, they'd probably find.
He left behind his weapon and his bag.
Oh, yeah, because he's on suspension.
Mhm.
Like he said, he knows the moves he's supposed to make.
Yeah. Lady Visa says he's done slipped off his cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone who slipped off the cracker.
Well, yeah, this one's. Yeah. Oh gosh, you see where this is going. Donna doesn't.
Boy. It's like, Nadine, you're married. May not know that, but you're married.
It's been a long month in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
How did they survive this long?
I know. Yes, sorta. Oh my gosh.
This will all be covered in Donna's book, What the Hell Just Happened?
Yes, exactly.
Coming soon.
Wally's.
That's a beautiful vet. 63?
Can you get a hot dog and a root beer at Wally's? That's my question.
Yeah. Isn't that McCarthy?
Nope, that's 57.
Femme fatale.
This is what we would now call in gaming side quest.
Now, at the time, I wondered why was this storyline in the show? Because I felt at the time that it didn't need it.
Yeah.
But when we get to when it plays out, let's just say, I'll explain why I don't dump on it like I used to.
And if I finish my drink first?
That would be probably not. Land shark, yeah. Here we go.
That's the same tune that Bobby played in the pilot episode.
Mhm. Did he pick himself up a street urchin?
I guess so.
I've learned not to ask.
I've always made a joke like street urchins are characters that show up in certain types of fiction. Like Iron Man got a street urchin in Iron Man 3, the kid in the countryside. Remember? That's
Yeah.
Yeah, and that reaction that Andy has, it's like, what the hell?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, what they just
Till
did
then.
there was they laid down the lore for pretty much everything that frames Twin Peaks.
Right. I think his hair looks good in a dress.
Well, it helps that he's got a good wig.
That's true.
Here's something you got to understand, okay? In the when we get to Cooper's autobiography,
Yeah.
we get Dennis now Denise, and he's basically like something out of a John Woo movie. He's this kind of kick-ass kind of guy. And then you see him and he walks in and we're here now. So
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I like what Nate said. We asked for a Mulder and we got a Scully.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I remember this scene.
You didn't just do the 600 pounds.
Okay. Tell me, has anyone else done this with the leg press? I used to do this too. It's really not as impressive as it looks. Yeah, you're right. J. Edgar Hoover goes to Twin Peaks. That's exactly right.
This woman's last name is nothing but trouble. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong. Even in Last Emperor, I was like, dude, just done.
Let me just take off my gun belt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I'm going to poke you with something.
I was thinking if he's going to fire some rounds, he doesn't.
Well, yeah, exactly. Nate makes a great point. With her, maybe he should leave it on. The thing is, I think the time she spends with him, she's trying to avoid the truth. Ick. Yeah, she didn't mean literally, Nate. So in Josie, we're getting this backstory of lost innocence and abuse, and very, very much an echo of Laura in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
Now, with stories like this, you always wonder how reliable is this narrator, right?
Hmm.
It's nice that they got a little bit in this together.
Yeah. I hope not.
That's in Washington.
Well, they're supposed to be in Washington.
Oh.
Now, the way they describe where Twin Peaks is, it would be the opposite end of the state. They're on the west end of the state. Seattle would be the west coast. In reality, this was originally filmed in Snoqualmie, which is literally like middle of the state, like an hour outside of Seattle.
Hmm.
Oh.
That looks good.
It does.
Yes, it is. You go Dutch. Oh, yes.
That one was funny.
That actually wouldn't happen.
No, well, to Andy it might.
Well, there is a good chance that Nadine might have loosened it.
Ah, good point. Good point. FKHC 2005, heading off to bed.
Loves his
Thanks so much for
car.
hanging out with us
Okay.
tonight.
Good night, Tim.
Does he love his car more than me, more than you? Is that what you're getting at?
That's a nice looking car.
Oh, car, right. Sorry.
Yes, there's a car in this scene too.
Hmm.
What did she say was wrong with the car? Or did he?
Oh, I don't know. It's Fubar.
Should we be suspicious of this situation?
Any word?
Um,
Yes.
I absolutely would. Yes.
Look at that. Good old days.
Right.
No, the brothers.
Yeah.
The beginning of the whole Ben freak out.
Right. So this is interesting. We get this different take on falling, played on an organ.
Discontent. Summer. Son of York.
Well, an electone organ.
And something tells me that either Ben or his brother had braces when they were kids because the one kid's got buck teeth, so they would have had to have
Oh
had
yeah,
braces
I'm
to
sure.
fix that.
Hmm? Is that from Shakespeare or something?
Yeah. Richard III.
Welcome, Curtis. Curtis caught you on Ryan Roger Athay's show
Oh,
earlier.
yeah.
Hey, Curtis.
Curtis, good to see you. Recent subscriber to the channel. The Cosme link is at the top of the screen. Please feel free to join us.
Okay, so he's basically summing up the concept of feng shui.
Yep.
But what's interesting is that kind of plays out almost literally within the Great Northern. You'll see more about that later and in season 3.
Mm-mm.
I was just about to say, well, there's no one else left, but
Right.
that would be wrong, wouldn't it? You know?
He's not wrong.
Huh, in the pale moonlight of all things.
Actually, they're both right.
Yeah.
I mean, what's interesting is they're both literally right. Neither one of them's lying here.
Yeah.
The two that are most inclined to lie are actually telling the truth in this scene. So another recurring theme we get: people going crazy, and very clearly a coping mechanism.
Mhm.
We see it happening here with Ben. We've seen it happen with Nadine, right?
Is that a deer?
Looked like it, yeah. So I did spend a lot of time paying close attention to this chess game, and it goes all cattywampus. It does start out. How did he say it? The emphatically traditional opening.
Mhm.
That is the King's Pawn game. It's a traditional opening. It could lead to the Fool's Mate, but there's all kinds of errors. It turns out to not be real if you're literally trying to follow it.
I know she said take her easy, not take it easy.
Yeah.
I know that actress. She was in Karate Kid Part 3,
Yes,
correct?
she was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you call it? Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Oh, they worked her into Cobra Kai?
Yep.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
They have brought back almost everyone in Cobra Kai.
Wow.
Accordion.
Wow.
I mean, he's basically playing a polka, and no one's really doing a polka.
Look who caught the bouquet.
Yeah.
Margaret Lanterman, good evening.
I love Milford weddings, and she shows up dressed in black.
Denise. Sorry.
I would imagine so.
Look at that. This man is a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
See, he's not a curmudgeon, even though he's old. See, the other guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's not.
Curtis, we're watching on Cosme.
Yep. Yeah, so pinned to the top is the link. Go ahead and right-click on it, and you can jump into the show right where we're at.
That's. Oh no. He wants to leave the table.
Not my garden hose. You get the distinct impression he does not want to be there.
Nope.
No.
You know. She's a little young for him, though.
Let's not go too far into that, Nate.
Yeah.
Andy.
Oh, well, then why are we beating around the bush? Okay.
Right. Was he in Psych? I don't know. Anonymous Cow in Cosme is saying, wasn't that the guy from Psych? And I'm like, I don't remember being
which one were you meaning?
Probably Andrew Packard.
Oh, I don't know if he was ever in Psych. He might have been. They were big Twin Peaks fans, the people who made that show. So
Ray Wise was in the latter part of Psych. Didn't he play like a priest or something?
You're now the maid.
Is that, yeah. She's the widow and you're Vale. Do the math there, Josie. And that was my Into the Badlands reference for the show, folks. Uh, 1991, when a woman tells another woman to get her a coffee and no one minded.
Yes.
And holy shit, here he is.
Yep.
He's supposed to be dead.
Yeah. Just like Snake Plissken.
Why do they always end?
Well, that's how the
big
show
reveal.
goes.
Look at the credits. See,
that is pretty cool, actually.
Some nice hats they got there, huh?
Yep. Again, Falling, but this time played on a guitar. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good episode. I liked that episode.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is setting up all the mysteries going forward. We've got the Packard Eckhart thing. We've got the of course the subplot of Dale being set up by by Renault, and the emergence of Wyndham Earl and his chess game.
Yeah, mysterious man on the tape recorder.
Yep. So there you go. It is rough. I mean, and you do have to keep in mind we're doing this on a weekly basis, but back in the day, we had, not only did we have to wait a week, but sometimes there was a mid-season break, especially at the holidays.
Sure,
so
and then you get the reruns.
It would be, and you get the reruns, and then it'd be over a month before you got another episode, and then you'd have a whole season. When the season was done, you'd have to go all summer before you got another episode.
You say it was rough, but I think on some level it kind of gave you something to look forward to in your regular life. When it would come back after the little hiatus, it'd be like, wow, I got something to look forward to. Like here's a new X-Files coming on, or a new Sopranos, or something. And we don't kind of have that anymore.
There was also the element of it being appointment television, right? Where you were seeing it at the same time that a bunch of your friends
everyone
were
else
seeing it.
was, yeah.
And then you could talk about it throughout the next week, and believe me, with Twin Peaks, that was happening a lot. And, this was the early 90s. So, the internet was starting to become a thing. So, there was that ability as well to go on chat boards and bulletin boards and, share information and whatnot. So anticipating the next episode made it very interesting. Yeah. And especially for something like this, a mystery, something that could be as complicated as this, the ability to digest it, right? I had said I was the goofball. This was in the days before we had wikis online and stuff like that. I was literally, keeping notes of things and I had always said, I wish they'd put out like a Twin Peaks encyclopedia, like they did for Star Trek, to keep track of all this, the continuities and whatnot. So I was doing it myself, so that's how I kept a lot of this stuff straight. And you can't do that if you binge, a whole season in a weekend,
Yeah.
And Lady V, thank you. She's saying, way more fun watching it with y'all. Thank you. Yes, there you go. Was there a Twin Peaks video game?
No.
There was never, as far as I know, there was never an official Twin Peaks game. However, there have been a number of games that were very much inspired by Twin Peaks. There was one. What was it called?
Wasn't there like a fan made game?
I showed you that. I don't know if that's a real game or if that was a facsimile, but yeah, that was neat. It was made to look like a PlayStation 1.
Yeah. There is a prototype or whatever of a very low res kind of, as if it was done in the early 90s type of third person game, point and click kind of thing. I downloaded it and played it. It was very, how would I say it? Very railroady. You can't stray from the path. You really can't progress until you click on the right thing and solve the right puzzle and so forth. If they ever develop that into a game, I don't know. But was the guy with the whiteboard and lots of string and text. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly who I was. Although I hadn't thought of the string and the Post-it notes back then. But yeah, exactly. Styles from Teen Wolf. Oh, okay. But yeah. And no, I don't know if. In fact, they never did a video game, and what's even worse, they never did a role-playing game, which I think would have been brilliant.
Like a tabletop? Yeah, I think
exactly. And to be honest with you, I have very much thought about doing a Twin Peaks role-playing game. Set in Twin Peaks, maybe not using the actual characters. Create your own characters, but the main characters might just be NPCs.
There wasn't even a GURPS Twin Peaks.
No, there wasn't. My initial thought was to do it using either like D20 Modern or even Worlds of Darkness. Worlds of Darkness actually would be a great one for it. But I did find another game that has it very much is has a supplement that's very much drawing on Twin Peaks. I think it's called like Dark Town or something like that. I've gotten a hold of the main game and the Twin Peaks-esque supplement to it. I just haven't had a chance to read the rules yet to see how it would play, but would love to check that out. And once I do, I'll certainly let you guys know. But yeah, another good episode.
All right.
Big reveal at the end.
Oh, indeed.
A lot of reveals in this episode, actually.
It's like there always are. That's why the That's why the cliffhanger thing is so effective, right? It's like, I was just getting into this. And really, back then it was an hour long with commercials. It's like 47 minutes, without the commercials. Yeah. So there you go. That's Twin Peaks. And we'll have the next episode next week. So hopefully you can join us as we continue the journey. And even though there's only 3 seasons, with the Showtime series, this is going to probably be going on a while. We're going to be covering the extraneous materials, the books. We will get into some of the other Lynch films that are directly or indirectly related. So stay with us. There's a lot of material. I'll get my whiteboard and string ready. Yes, John, it absolutely is, and in fact, it's available on in audio format. On CD. The final dossier is 3 CDs, and the Secret History of Twin Peaks is 8 CDs. They are obviously good supplements to Twin Peaks overall, but especially to season 3. Deleted scenes, I would suggest you go ahead and pick them up, but maybe hold off on reading them or listening to them until after you've done season 3. Okay. And Evelyn is asking if I have the collection of the wrapped in plastic zines. I have all that I was able to get. I'm not sure I have the complete collection. I was a little bit late to it, but I have gotten most of them. And I also have all of the run of the Blue Rose magazine, which was basically the zine follow-up to Wrapped in Plastic. Yeah, that's how big a nerd I am. I have all the trading cards. I have all the books. I have all 4 issues that they made of the Twin Peaks Gazette. Interestingly, there was some memorabilia that was advertised in the Twin Peaks Gazette that never actually got made. But these days, as far as T-shirts and cups with printing on it and stuff like that, there's crafters out there that are making all of that stuff. So that's not a difficult thing. And you know how I am. I gotta, not only if I collect something, do I gotta get it all, but I gotta get the stuff that wasn't produced, that was promised and should have been produced, and so there you go. Yes, Nate, nerd. Yes, I own that. I own that. Absolutely.
Nerd. There's that famous Simpsons scene where he his first day at college and he yells out at the car at some guy wearing glasses, carrying books, and he screams, "Nerd!" like in a really horribly obnoxious way.
Unless I'm mistaken, that started with, was it Revenge of the Nerds or Revenge of the Nerds 2?
It probably did, because that's what he was basing his knowledge of college off of, was like all of these like 70s and 80s college movies. He thought that's what college was like. And it's like, there are only 2 types of people in college, jocks and nerds. That's what he said.
Yeah, exactly. The heart slapper is what Lady V calls that little live reaction. Oh, gosh, that thing.
Anyway. Because I've been taking it down because there have been people who say it gets in the way in the comments. So.
Yeah, the biggest problem is for the Blue Wrenches. If we want to, it covers up the 3 dots on the right hand side for the bottom comment. So I've had a number of times where I've put a comment and I'm like, oh, I want to take that down. I can't until someone else says something, or someone new comes in and I want to right click and go to their channel so that I can like and subscribe and share their link out, but I can't until someone says something else. I need something to hit. That's pretty loaded there.
Yeah. It doesn't get in the way. Yeah.
I need something to hit because you're not here. No. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done with my Twin Peaks talk for tonight.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
But 5 fingers say in a hand. Slap. McJames, bitch. No. Okay. All right. I'll stop. Let's see. Let you guys get here. Oh yeah. I heard about this earlier. Apparently, Bo DeMaio, who is the showrunner for the X-Men '97 animated series, has apparently been fired from that show. His social media has been deleted.
Is that the one that's been taking a lot of flack because Jean Grey didn't have a butt or something like that?
I think that was more of a design choice, but yeah, I don't know the whole story. Just that apparently he is out and that he has deleted all of his social media. So,
wow. Well,
yeah,
I'll have to be. Keep an eye on the sites that we follow that have behind the scenes contacts. People like Midnight's Edge and WDW Pro and whatnot. They'll know what's going on with that.
I know that some channels have already commented on this. I haven't had a chance to watch any of those videos or go into detail, but yeah, okay. Shake up at X-Men '97. We'll stay on it.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Once more around the horn. Boomer, what do you have coming up?
This Friday I'll be on with Troy for Last Call with Troy Pacelli, where we'll be talking about preserving physical media with special guest Retro Blasting. Who was the other one?
And Greg from Fanzine.
Right, Greg from Fanzine, yes. So, and then on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, we'll be having Kiki Geezers, where I think there's more Sweet Baby news, but there were other things too. Oh, Spinal Tap sequel in the works. That's interesting to me.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that turns out. I almost don't want them to do it because the original's perfect.
Yeah.
But maybe this could also be fun. Maybe this could make fun of how older rock bands reunite and go on tours in their old age. Maybe that's what it's going to be making fun of. So maybe there's still some comedy left in that concept. So we'll see. But I'm curious. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Troy.
Yep. So Friday, last call. Of course, the Geeky Geezers, as he mentioned, and starting Monday, last call Monday night at the movies. Don't know yet what my first movie is gonna be just yet. As I said at the top of the show, I've got 3 polls going right now. The winner from each of those polls will be chosen tomorrow morning. And those winners will be put into a runoff poll that will run through the start of the show on Friday night. So I'll announce on Friday night what the first movie of Last Call's Monday Night at the Movies will be. And then I will successively try to do each of the movies that you all suggested over the course of the next couple weeks. But I will possibly be changing that up with whatever's topical. I'll probably want to squeeze in a showing of Dune, perhaps, or something like that, since that's topical right now and whatnot. Saw a Spinal Tap, like the Wind tour in Cleveland. Yeah. But that'll be Monday, and yeah, that's what I got going this week.
All right, Netter.
Well, let's see. I'm just such a busy girl. So let's see. This is Tuesday, so of course you'll always find me here every Tuesday for Sparkwood 21, and then of course on Thursday, my special guest will be Jedi Bill on Thursday Things. And then let's see, I am the security and bouncer on Last Call with Troy Picelli. And that'll be on Friday. Then Saturday, we're over on Big Al's channel.
Nope,
No, my channel.
Your channel.
Oh, my channel, that's right.
Darkest Hour.
That's right. For Darkest Hour. It's like these weeks get messed up. So we're going to be watching Darkest Hour. So that's going to be interesting. I don't think I've ever seen it, so it's going to be a fun time.
There you go.
All right. That brings it back around to me. All right. Let's see. It's Tuesday. So that gets me on over to Thursday. 3:30. I will be joining Jedi Bill for Action Theater, and we are going to be watching the unrated version of True Romance. And of course, as Netter said, Bill is going to be the guest on Thursday Things. Right after that show is over, catch up with me over on my channel for the weekend update. Find out what's going on my channel, and my chance to touch base with my subscribers. I have a few new ones as of today, so I hope to see you all there. All right, and let's see. I don't at present have anything scheduled for Friday, but stay tuned to my community page in case anything changes. Let's see. Yeah, of course, Sunday is Western Cinema Presents, which is every Sunday at 3 p.m., where once again I join Jedi Bill. We are planning for A Man Called Django, which we tried to show once before, but we had an audio issue. But we got it worked out, and we will bring that movie to you this week.
Oh, Django movie. I like Django Prepares a Coffin. I think that's another one I've seen.
Yeah. Then, of course, Monday, Troy and I are apparently going to be competitors, friendly competitors this week. He has I will be on Mystery Movie Night at the Regal because for some reason they decided to do 4 mystery nights in a row, so which they don't normally do. But I will be there for Mystery Movie Night at the Regal. Don't know what the movie is going to be this week, of course, but find out along with me Monday night. And then remember to join us right back here. Same bat time, same bat channel for the next episode of Twin Peaks.
Yep. Looks like Big Al just dropped a 10-word review for something called Love Lies Bleeding. Makes me wonder if that has anything to do with the Elton John song.
The Kristen Stewart movie. Yeah, it's had some controversy surrounding it, so I'm curious to see what he thinks of that one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I, of course, would like to thank everyone who joined us on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I also like to thank everyone who joined us here in the YouTube chat. FKHC 2005, Lady Mist, Evelyn Hampton, Lady V Elements, Lady Mist, Big Al Presents, Bluff Chick Productions, Connie Clary, Geek Flag with Nate Knows 1973, Dee Dee Myers Jr., Curtis Selby, Dad Man Walking, and JPRPH1. All right. We will close out the show. Netter, your last words.
Of course. But first, I wanted to remind everyone to make sure that they are subbed to every member of the panel, as well as every member of the chat. And if you think you're subbed, please go back and double check to make sure you are still subbed, because YouTube likes to take those away, which makes me sad. I'm making a sad face right now. And with that said, we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun, but it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And I know we always have a great time when we're together. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You're our family. You know, we love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you chose to be here, and that's so encouraging. So thank you for being here. Thank you for encouraging us and everyone in the chat. And we will definitely see you next time. God bless.
All right. And I'll wrap it up with my usual closer. I'd like to once again thank everyone for being here. From HQ and all points north, south, east, and west, and other places, good night, take care, stay strong, because this is how we win. Maybe. I messed up. Okay, here's what happened, kids. I was going to play the promo again. Give me a second. 2. Oh, I had to boomer it one time. Just one damn time. All right. Here we go.
Was it seduction or illusion? Deception or murder? Nothing is what it seems in a town like Twin Peaks. Starring Kyle MacLachlan, Michael Onke, Laura Flynn Boyle, Sherilyn Fenn, and Joan Chen. And now you can fall back into the mystery, or begin your search for the first time every Tuesday night with a new episode hosted by a panel of superfans. Watch live for the audio commentary. No one is innocent